Assalamualaikum, salam nama budaya, Om Swastiastu. My name is Jason Emery, and I am the representative of my SGD B3. Today, we will present about the Clostridium difficile infection. This is our member. There is Pratama, Ika Frangipani, Angel Cynthia, Cinta Migema, Wedananta, Arin Karla, Nadia Salva Akila, Juliana Lim, myself, Justin Emery, Jaspar Ahita Wirawan, Stephanie, and Iputu Atika Dharma.
My name is Juliana Lim. My student ID number is 2002511080. Now I'd like to tell you about the background of this student project. Humans need the digestive system to digest all the materials that enter the body, especially food. However, some problems may occur in the system. And indigestion is one of the most experienced things to human. It can happen because of internal or external things. Clostridium difficile is known as a germ that causes Clostridium difficile infections or CDI. This infection is indicated by severe diarrhea and colitis. CDI is also prevalent hospital-acquired infections. It is one of the principal threats to hospitalized and immunocompromised patients, especially when they consume antibiotics to treat several diseases. Almost 500,000 cases of infections occur in US every year. It makes Indonesia has a big possibility to be one of the affected countries, especially Bali as a tourism area. Therefore, CDI is a crucial disease in the world that involves many studies. Knowing this, it becomes apparent that a further and better understanding of the CDI can greatly benefit medical student, doctor, and healthcare professionals to increase human well-being. As such, this paper aims to explain about the CDI more detail. And next, the problem formulations of this student project is: what is the Clostridium difficile in microbiology? What is the definitions of Clostridium difficile infections or CDI? How is the epidemiology of CDI? How is the pathology of CDI? What are the clinical manifestations of CDI? What is the diagnosis of CDI? How is the therapy of CDI? What are the complications of CDI? And last but not least, how is the prognosis of CDI?
My name is Jaspar Ahita Wirawan, and my student ID number is 2002511082, and I would like to present about the objectives and the benefits of writing this student project. The objectives of writing this student project is to define the Clostridium difficile, to explain the definition of Clostridium difficile infection or CDI, to clarify the epidemiology of CDI, to illustrate the pathology of CDI, to perceive the clinical manifestations of CDI, to elucidate the diagnosis of CDI, to explicate therapy of CDI, to expose the complications of CDI, and to interpret the prognosis of CDI. Writing this student project also enhances our knowledge and understanding about Clostridium difficile infection in human gastrointestinal tract. In addition, this student project is expected to be a reference for other research related to CDI. Thank you.
My name is Igusti Ayu Ika Frangipani Feranti. My student identification number is 20025111064. Today, I'd like to tell you the definition of Clostridium difficile and Clostridium difficile infection. Clostridium difficile is an anaerobic gram-positive and spore-forming bacterium, and firstly discovered by Hall and Ocho. These are the taxonomy of this bacterium. C. difficile can be found easily spread in nature and transmitted through the fecal-oral route. This bacterium is normal flora in intestine, but can grow and replace many others that can cause Clostridium difficile infection. Clostridium difficile infection, or CDI, is an endogenous infection. Its symptoms starting from diarrhea to life-threatening inflammation of the colon. CDI is the commonest explanation for AAD, or antibiotic-associated diarrhea. And CDI is one of the most infectious of significant nosocomial diarrhea.
Hey, hello, my name is Savani with student ID number 2002511083. So the epidemiology of Clostridium difficile, it is increased cases in the United States related to a rare and more virulent strain of the bacteria, which makes the Clostridium difficile more pathogenic because of having more toxin production and high-level fluoroquinolones resistance. Indonesia has high prevalence of CDI due to widespread inappropriate usage of antibiotics and lack of molecular analysis for anaerobic bacteria cultures.
My name is Igede Ngurah Pratawinata with student ID number 225-11-061. In this presentation, I will cover about pathogenesis of Clostridium difficile infection. So, these infections are mostly caused by spore-forming transmission of Clostridium difficile bacteria, which is resistant to heat, acid, and antibiotic. This spore can be intaken by fecal oral route. An infection of this bacteria are classified as several diseases, such as watery diarrhea, abdominal pain, systemic upset, and fatal pseudomembran colitis. When spore reach the intestine, bile acid resulting in affect germination process of the spore. There is two types of bile acid that play an important role in germination process of the spore. Number one is primary bile acid and secondary bile acid. A primary bile acid are produced by liver from synthesis of cholesterol into intestine. About 95% of this primary bile acid are absorbed in the final part of intestine. And 5% might undergo 7A dehydrogenation by gut bacteria and producing secondary bile acid such as deoxycholic acid. In some research, there is show there's different content of fecal in a normal person and patient with CDI. Allegati show that in a normal person there is more secondary bile acid in a fecal than a patient with CDI. This means that there is imbalanced good microorganism in a patient with CDI and resulting first pass of infection. This infection was induced by several enzymes, such as collagenase. There is less toxin to break down the gut barrier. There is two types of toxin in this type of disease. Number one is beta toxin A and bacetotoxin B. This toxin, when epithelium absorbs that, inactive Rho family from Getipiaceae, which is play a role in actin polymerization for stabilizing cell. This can cause more inflammatory disease and microulceration covered with pseudomembran start occurring in epithelial mucosa of cell intestine.
My name is Justin Emery. My student identification number is 2002-511-081. I will present about the clinical manifestation. Clostridium difficile colonization inside the host may result in a wide spectrum of clinical conditions, in the asymptomatic hair state, diarrhea, inflammation and swelling of intestine, and fulminant colitis. And the symptoms may include mild to watery diarrhea that's sometimes bloody, cramping abdominal pain, anorexia, malaise, and with other physical examination, fever, especially in severe cases, dehydration, lower abdominal tenderness, and rebound.
My name is Angel Xenda Caroline. My student ID number is 2002-511-068. Now I would like to tell you about the diagnosis of CDI. First one is clinical diagnosis. A general practitioner needs to do anamnesis to know the patient's complaint and then do physical examination. Patient with CDI usually shows low-grade fever, dehydration, diarrhea, and abdominal tenderness. By doing just clinical diagnosis alone is not enough to detect if it is a CDI. Therefore, we need to do laboratory diagnosis, such as molecular tests, which detect the gene that regulate the development or production of toxin A or toxin B. Then we have antigen detection. This is a rapid test that detect the antigen of C. difficile. It is usually used in combination with RT-PCR due to its unspecific result. Then we have CC or TC. This assay is the gold standard for toxigenic C. difficile detection. And then we have cell cytotoxicity assay, CCTA. This is the gold standard assay for detecting the toxin of C. difficile. And then we have EIA, enzyme immunoassay. This is the most popular assay, but due to its moderate or variable sensitivity, it is usually used in combination with RT-PCR or GDH-EIA. And then we have GDH-EIA. It is a test that detects the gene that encodes for the production of GDH, glutamate dehydrogenase, which is a universal protein in C. difficile strain.
Hello, my name is Indami Masela and my student ID number is 2002-511-070. Today I'd like to tell you guys about the differential diagnosis of the CDI. Several cases or diseases may have the same symptoms and can be considered in the diagnosis of CDI, such as salmonellosis, sigilosis, and also Crohn's disease. The difference between CDI and these infections can be seen in the durations of the symptoms. In the Clostridium difficile infections, the symptoms may last for 2 weeks, while in Salmonellosis, the symptoms may only last for 4 to 7 days. In the Shigellosis, the symptoms may last for 5 to 7 days, and a Crohn's disease is a long-term condition. The patients may have the symptoms on and off. The differentiate also can be seen in the transmissions or by the causes. CDI occurs due to the use of the broad-spectrum antibiotics, taking several antibiotics in the same times or in a long time. And also, these conditions also occurs in immunocompromised people, while the other infections such as Salmonellosis, Shigellosis, and also Crohn's disease happened by the transmissions when the patients eat food or raw food that has been infected or contaminated by the bacteria or through sexual interactions in an infected human.
My name is Nadia Zalfakila with student identification number 20025111079, and in this occasion I would like to mention about the therapy in CDIs. The first one is antibiotic treatment or the non-surgical treatment. For metronidazole and oral vancomycin is usually used in earlier stage and for the light case of CDIs. Meanwhile, fidaxomicin and fetal microbiota transplantation is usually used for treatment of a repetitive case of CDIs. The second one, there is surgical treatment, or the alternative for treating fulminant colitis, and for patients who are not responding for medical therapy.
My name is Irene Carla Uditya Pranadiningrum with student identification number 20025111075. I will explain about the complication of CDI. CDI has turned out to be a significant disease burden alongside with the increasing number of recurrences and therapy failures. The development of complication CDI, including mortality, occurs in about 1 in 5 patients with CDI. The complications of CDI include the first one is C. difficile associated diarrhea that can occur when there's a numerous development and replacement of the normal flora that live in the colon when an individual takes an antibiotic for certain condition. The second one is gastroenteritis. The third one is pseudomembranous colitis in 10% among 200 successive patients in the study conducted by Tedesco et al. The fourth one is healthcare-associated infections that can occur predominantly because of the exposure to C. difficile spores during a hospital stay. And the last one is sepsis, which was proven by a sacro-occipital technique patient with recurrence of CDI after fidaxomicin treatment. The patient began the symptom of sepsis, which is classified as a complicated CDI.
My name is Iputu Artika Dharma Yoga. My student identification number is 20025111084. Now I would like to explain about the prognosis of Clostridium difficile infection. Most of people can recover from Clostridium difficile infection, some even without any treatment. If needed, treatment with metronidazole or vancomycin provides a good probability of rapidly cleansing the infection. People who had CDI have around 1 in 4 until 5 probability of the infection recurring in the future. If CDI is associated with other diseases such as ulcerative colitis, the diagnosis of Clostridium difficile worsens the prognosis of ulcerative colitis by increasing the risk of colectomy.
Hello, my name is Imade Satriadananta and my student identification number is 20025111071. So, to conclude this presentation, Clostridium difficile is gram-positive Bacillus anaerobic bacterium. It is a normal flora in the human intestine and might cause infection called CDI. The transmission of Clostridium difficile occurs through fecal-oral route. In Indonesia specifically, the prevalence of CDI is relatively high among neighboring countries. Symptoms of CDI might include mild to moderate diarrhea, cramp, and malaise. Upon physical examination, fever, dehydration, and lower abdominal tenderness might be present as the characteristics of CDI. The diagnosis of CDI might include clinical diagnosis and laboratory diagnosis. In addition, there are several conditions that must be taken into consideration in the diagnosis of CDI, such as salmonellosis as the differential diagnosis. The treatment of CDI can be done non-surgically by prescribing antibiotics and can sometimes be done surgically. Several complications might occur due to CDI. Complication of CDI occurs in about 1 out of 5 patients with CDI. The prognosis of CDI is worsened if it is associated with another diseases such as ulcerative colitis.
And that is all from B3. At the end of this presentation, we'd like to say thank you for watching.